welcome to the channel. It's Luna Marie here from the Spiritual Warrior UK. If you are new to the channel, then welcome. I hope that you enjoy this reading. If you like what you see and you are liking my vibe, then please hit the subscribe button. You know, also when you hit the subscribe, you do become part of the collective, so the readings then become more individual to yourself, because I always tune into the energies of my collective. If you're returning, then how are you doing, my wonderful warriors? Thank you for all your lovely support and messages. So for those that you are regular on my channels, I've been quiet the last, I don't know, 10 days, 14 days. This eclipse energy is it's not been like purging or anything like that. It's just been like a very integratory feeling. That's the only way. I just felt that I needed to just hibernate and go into my own little bubble. And now I'm back. I'm feeling rested and re-energized and a little bit more aligned as well. So we're back on it now. Let's have a little look. Where are we this week? So we are looking at Monday the 9th through to Sunday the 15th of May 2022. And of course, when we hit Tuesday, or depending wherever you are in the world, we are going into Mercury Retrograde. The lovely Mercury Retrograde, where all sorts of things start to happen. You know, really a very important time to keep grounded. Not to do too much, take plenty of rest. Oh, that's really interesting actually, because normally I get things happen to me a week before the collective. So the fact that I've taken a week out now, actually nearly 2 weeks, maybe it's going to be a little bit bumpy. Who knows? We've also got another eclipse coming up, total lunar eclipse the week after for the full moon, and that's going to be the flower moon. So yeah, kind of interesting month is May. Yeah, I feel like it's lots of change, lots of shifts coming in, portals of opportunity I am hearing. Look at it. Okay, so let's get some cards for the overall energy for this week, for the 9th of May 2022. Remember, this is a general collective reading. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. Of course, these readings are also timeless as well, so whenever you come across it, that is where you are meant to see it. And just one more thing that I must say, the scammers are still out there, annoying as ever. Thank you for all you guys that let me know. It's generally on Instagram, because that's my biggest following. And they're just, you know, every dot, every letter, double R, double S, you know, they're very creative. So please do keep a lookout. And not only for me, this is happening to loads of other tarot readers. Anyone that's decent will never approach you for a reading, ever. So if anybody does that, whether it's a free reading, that's what they've been saying. They've been saying my last account got hacked. That's not the case. If I do any competitions, my only competitions that I will run will be either on this channel or through my newsletter. I do discounts, and my people that are on my private list will get that first. So if you're interested on getting on my list, I'll put a link below for the website. Click on the front page, and then you can sign up to the newsletter. Scroll down to the front page, get your name on there so you can get part of the discounts and also free readings. Do one reading a weekend, goes out on a Sunday morning UK time, and I always look at the week ahead there. So let's crack on. Okay, Luna, stop chatting and get on with it. Energies for the week ahead, please, Spirit. Energies for the week ahead. What do we need to know about this week ahead, please? 9th to the 15th of May. 9th to the 15th of May. 9th to the 15th of May. What else have we got? 9th to the 15th of May. Okay, we have, we've got two. We have the 4th house, which is home. Look at those fantastic colours. The number 42, which goes down to 6. 6 is the Lover's card. So we are making choices. The 4th home is also about your roots, which is really interesting. With Mercury Retrograde coming up, we've got family, self-care, emotions, the foundations of what's going on. And I feel like with this card, it's actually looking out in what's happened. A lot of reflectiveness that's happening this week with this card. We've also got Libra as well. So the number 7, kind of a progression going on here. Number 6, number 7, the Chariot, moving forward. But Libra is the card of balance. It's the card of justice. The air sign representing the scales. You know, that kind of reflects the fixation on balance and harmony, symmetry, strives to create the equilibrium in all areas of life. Now they keep showing me this deck, which I haven't used for a while, so okay. Ooh. What else do we need to know about this week, please, Spirit? Our Mercury retrograde in the month of May 2022. What else have we got going on? Mercury retrograde, please, and the week ahead. What else? Like to the 15th. Okay. What have we got? Oh, go to sea, the number 7 again. And the 46, regeneration, end of the cycle. Very bare and very barren. Okay, let's just bring these up and see what we've got going on here. Let me just tune in. It's definitely about stuff coming back from the past. I'm kind of getting this with this number 7 as well. And actually, I just feel incredibly sick when this comes out. I know this is somebody returning from the past. That's brought up like butterflies, like anxiety, you know, when like you bump into somebody and you kind of, you're sort of in shock. Because actually I'm feeling nauseous, which is also kind of fear also coming up. It's almost like didn't expect it, things coming back from the past. I don't feel like it's so much purging, as in it doesn't feel like it's heavy. I feel like we've sort of done that. It feels like there's a kind of letting go, a kind of cleansing that's coming into balance, a decision that needs to be made. And I feel like within that decision comes to the end of a cycle. Now remember that when we get to the end of a cycle, it doesn't always mean that it's the complete end. That if it's around a person, you're never going to see them again, you'll never speak to them again. If it's about a position, you're never going to get another position or job or whatever it is. It just means at this moment, at that time, the energies are just changing. They're closing on that vibration, and that's really, really important to remember. You know, the Mercury retrograde is all about it's always kind of associated with things going a little bit haywire. You know, computers, electronics, that kind of thing. All kind of moving backwards, things that are sort of not progressing forward. So there can be a stuckness, there can be things from the past coming back, people from the past coming back. You know, Mercury rules our intellect and communication. So some believe that, you know, communication, sometimes you should might want to think before you speak. And sometimes people from the past that want to come up and come back and speak their truth. What you don't want to do is make any decisions during Mercury retrograde, that's for sure. Certainly don't want to sign any big contracts or anything like that. And so I was just making sure that it was recording. So it's also just a time for just kind of pausing. Whatever happens, whatever comes up, don't try and fight it. Don't try and fight against it. Just kind of pause in the energy of it. Go a little bit quiet. Don't have to respond straight away. Now, I'm not sure if this card here fell out, but it's out. So I'm going to have a look at this. And it is Midheaven, the pinnacle. It's also the number 9. So it's really interesting. I've got the 7 and 9s have been coming up a lot for me lately. And 9 is our self-mastery with ourself, a uni with the self. And what jumps out of me here is all the yellow, all this solar plexus power that's kind of being ignited. And it's like I feel the power and I'm going ahead with it. I'm going ahead with what I feel. And I'm stepping forward. It's like I feel the power and I'm going to make the moves. Which is really, really interesting energy. What I'm doing is trying to find the book, and then I can just have a read, because I don't know what midheaven is. Let's have a little look, and then I'll tune in. Okay, it contains clues about your family, about how your family trained you to be visible in the world, your relationships to other people's authority, and how you step into your own personal authority. It describes the future mountaintop, the pinnacle of your world. Midheaven is the highest point of the chart. It's where the sun would be at midday, the most public, visible point. The chart acts like a flagpole on top of your personal castle. What it feels like is that there is it's like there's a point that something's returning, is what I'm getting. I feel like it's like I'm putting myself out there. I'm making myself vulnerable. I'm going to my highest point so everyone can see how I feel, and I'm happy to voice it. It's like I'm happy to step up. It's like I'm flying the flag. It's like I'm in. I've granted. I don't know whether what they've just given me is like I'm in the UK, Buckingham Palace, and the Queen's in. The flag flies at Buckingham Palace, and what they've just brought me to is the flag, and it's like I'm at home. I'm here. I am who I am. This is me. I'm being vulnerable. And I'm bringing in balance. I'm going for what I want. I'm letting go of the past. I'm clearing out the old and stepping into the light of the new, stepping into what I want to bring forth, interestingly, and I'm making that decision for myself. Okay, let's get some tarot. What do we need to know about this week, please? We've got the High Priestess in reverse that just kind of, I'd say it fell out, more of a flopped out. What else have we got? We've got that High Priestess in reverse. So, okay, what I'm getting with that is almost like a lack of growth, that stagnation, but I feel like that's the energy of the Mercury Retrograde kicking off already, because of course it sort of starts to set in way before it actually happens. Which would you like me to receive? Okay, so we've got the Three of Pentacles in reverse. I feel like this is taking some time out so you balance up with yourself and not really wanting to give your energy to anybody else. It's like, again, what's interesting that I use this deck because we've got the green of go. It's like the traffic lights, and I feel like it within reverse. Again, we've got that pause energy, that stagnation energy. So I feel like there's not going to be much happening this week apart from very much in sorting things out for yourself, getting some boxes ticked, getting some projects finished, balancing out, making sure that you're okay, and not wanting to sort of be with lots of people, be with lots of energies. You might be working too hard. You might have this kind of workaholic where you're working, and it's like, oh, I need more because I don't know when the next lot is coming in. There's almost like a, just take some time out, look at the stars, allow the light of the moon to really kind of come down on you. I mean, I know it's not the full moon yet, but that's what they're showing me. It's almost like lay out in the garden and look up at the sky and let the energy of the sky almost like embrace you, energize you, revive you is what I'm hearing. Okay, can we get some energies for the Divine Feminine, please? Where's our Divine Feminine? Let's just move these up. Energies for the Divine Feminine for this week, please. Okay, what have we got? We've got the Six of Wands and we have Temperance. Energies for the Divine Masculine. Remember, this is the energies within you, or it could be for a person that you're watching this for. And the Masculine, please. Interesting. I love this one, masculine. We've got the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Swords. Let's start with the feminine. What's the energy that sits between them, please? Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, bottom of the deck. Oh my God, Ten of Wands. Love it, love it, love it. It really is a foot off the pedal week is what they're showing me. You're going to get success in doing what it is you need to do. Again, all those little projects, all those little things, like tie up the loose ends, I'm hearing. It really is that time for sitting, being still, being patient, just being. It's like just being. Again, we've got this balancing out here both times. I love this card because it always brings so much more than a lot of the other cards with the Temperance. I just feel like it's just it's like, you know, when you go into like meditation and it can feel like you've been there for a minute and actually you've been there for hours. It just feels like that. It feels like there's a need to revitalize. There's a need to be still. There's a need to really just focus on you, of the feminine energy, of the receiver. What can you change? What can you do to bring it in? Where's that wisdom leaving you? Where's that intuition taking you? You know, do trust that intuition. You might be cut off from a little bit. I feel like you're really, the energy, what they're showing me, it's like where your energy was in your head, it's like they're really dragging it down to your roots. So it gets you out of your head and just sort of sits in your heart and your base chakra, certainly your lower part of your chakras that are really being energized at the moment. I feel like that's where you're going to get the best out of this week, rather than feeling frustrated because nothing is moving forward, or you can't get things to work, or the computer goes wrong, or you work on a project for an hour and then it's not saved, like all that. So save, save and back up is what I'm getting. We certainly don't want that to happen, and I have had that happen before. Masculine energies, that fear coming up again. It's like 10 of Swords, we've got another 10, we've got another ending. That ending where, you know, you've reached the end of that cycle, but knowing that there's almost like a peacefulness about this end of the cycle. It feels like a very transitional, what's the word, please? Or you move from one thing to another. Can't think of the word, they're not giving it to me. Progression, thank you, Spirit. It feels like it's a very transitional progression of where you've been. I feel like that kind of hard work is done, and this week is very much about just moving forward on that. You might not even notice it, but it's like I'm moving into something that's more real, something that has greater clarity of where I am, something that sort of sits in my heart, that it really resonates. There's almost this peaceful pureness of clarity throughout this week, as long as you're not pushing against it and trying to do like 100 miles, 350,000 things at once. With the Ace of Cups and the 10 of Wands, I feel like, again, there's a revitalness about building up the energy of, you know, it's been a long old journey. Ascension is like forever and ever. It's like, come on now, are we not done already? But it's like that never giving up, that taking the responsibility, moving forward, wanting to go through the path, wanting to you know, stay on the path. And sometimes we can try too hard, and I feel like this week is very much about just going with the flow, not doing too much, definitely not doing too much, really kind of just flowing with this week and opening your heart. Anything that comes up, don't block it, don't suppress any emotions, don't suppress anything that's not going the way that you want it to, because all the way through this reading really had this pain in my heart center. And it's only just really given me if that's what it is. Again, it feels like there's a pause. It feels like there's a suppression. It feels a little bit just like trudging through the glue. So it's like, don't try to judge. Just be still. Be still. Meditate. Take salt baths. Don't go out much. You know, juice. Eat good food, that kind of thing. What else for this week, please, Spirit? What else can you give us? Thank you. What else can you give us this week? Oh, Rise of the Warrior Oracle. Okay, this card. So this is my deck, for those of you that don't know, Rise of the Warrior Oracle. Now, my first ever guide is a native, I say not was, is, because he stood behind me now, is a native Indian. And he really got me to sort of open up this channel and create these cards. So it was really important for me to put a native Indian reference on there. And the deck is really about the journey that we go on in life, the journey that we go on in ascension, it's about how you rise through the difficulty, how you rise through the darkness, how you rise through sadness, through grief, through tears, through, you know, looking at how am I ever going to recover from this? And of course, we know that we always do, but it never really feels like it at the moment, at the time. And, you know, with twin flame connections that are very intense and very, you know, they break you open to a level that you've never felt before. And I know an awful lot of people, especially on this channel, have felt that, but are not new to that that process, and have been on this journey for a while. And it feels that it's about reflection of where you were to where you've come and where you are now. And I remember when I went back and said it's like reflection, it's about the past, it's about the balancing up, bringing yourself home and clearing out the old. It's like letting go of that anger, that frustration that it didn't work out, I never got that job, I never did this, my kids don't do this, and you know, that didn't work, why didn't I get that contract? All those things. It's about letting it go and being okay where you are, knowing that there is a plan, you know, and always thinking, well, if it didn't work out, then think how much better the next thing is coming in. Also just wanted to bring you to the bottom of the deck because we've got frozen in time, and I feel that's very much the stagnation energy. I've got this all the way through this reading, that there is a pause this week where we're kind of being okay with everything that's happened, anchoring in everything that's happened. It's like letting it go, purging it from the body, but in a very gentle, successful way, but not wanting to take on too much this week, not needing to do too much this week, apart from just, you know, maybe slow it down, maybe have a lie-in, maybe just make sure that you're meditating every day. You know, sometimes we get busy and it can be one of the first things that go. So I feel like there is certainly a pause energy this week. So do let me know in the comments if you are feeling this. That's certainly what happened to me last week. In fact, it's a very, very good way of describing it. So let's just get some guidance, please. We've got Ascended Master deck here, the lovely Doreen Virtue. What else do we need? What's the guidance, please? Priorities, King Solomon. And look at the Merkaba above him. You know, really anchoring in and putting all that energy in for yourself and not really giving it to anybody else this week. Figuring out what your priorities are, figuring out what makes you happy, figuring out how you want to live your life, who you want in it, how you want them in it, and what's important to you and what's not, and leaving the rest behind. So I hope you find that useful, guys. Hopefully I'm back to normal again this week and get a couple of videos up and running for you. I did the most amazing pick a card reading for you. It was like nearly an hour and a half, and the main bulk of the video is on my phone, and when I try to transfer it into my computer, it's like it's not there. I have tried so many times and tried to figure out a way of doing it, and I can't, so I am going to take it down to the shop tomorrow, because it was a really, really lovely pick-a-pile, and I'm just so gutted that I couldn't upload it. That was my last thing that happened last week, where I went, okay, right, I'm done. I'm not posting anything else for a little while. So hopefully I'll be able to get that up this week. If not, otherwise it was just rubbish and you weren't meant to see it, and I'll do another one. All right, guys, my lovely warriors, have a fantastic week. I leave you there with so much love, so much light, and I'll speak to you again soon.